Today, our mission is really specific. We are plunging right into the world of heritage fashion, and we're going to analyze how an ancient, really high-value product is being translated for, a modern digital marketing strategy.
And we're doing this through a single lens, which I think is fascinating. We're decoding the copy from an online product ad.
Just one ad.
Just one ad. But it's not just an ad, right? It's more of a modern blueprint for how these traditional luxury brands have to navigate the very visual, very instant world of the internet today.
And the star of our show today is the Kanjeevaram Silk. For you listening, this is not just any textile. Kanjeevaram silk is, well, it's known for being heavy, for its intricate weaves, its incredibly rich history.
Right. It originates from the Kanchipuram region in Tamil Nadu. It's really the benchmark for South Indian bridal wear, for ceremonial attire. It's globally recognized.
Exactly. So what we're doing is unpacking the specific language, the attributes this brand uses to appeal to a modern consumer.
Yeah, we're looking for that tension, the push and pull between respecting that deep, deep tradition and, well, embracing total digital utility.
What happens when history meets the Instagram feed? Okay, let's just jump right in. What are the first promises, the emotional and aesthetic hooks they're using to grab?
Well, the opening language is crafted for high aspirations. It starts with elegant, tells materials.
With the sparkle.
Of course. So right away, the product isn't just cloth. It's positioned as a narrative device. You can actually build your own brand.
So they set this really high aspirational tone. The goal is to redefine classic style. But what really gets me is how fast they pivot from that, stately elegance to this really aggressive modern urgency.
That pivot is everything. That's modern digital marketing in a nutshell. They give you the big idea, the grand concept, but then bam, they hit you with these incredibly active phrases, what we call calls to action or CTAs, to push for immediate engagement.
Yeah, you get the traditional feel of turn heads, the traditional way, which is sort of a gentle command. But then it's immediately followed by pure digital hype. Slay that dizzy look.
Oh, with the explosion emoji.
Of course. The tone just completely shifts. It's like going from a museum placard to a fashion influencer's caption in, 2 lines?
And that contrast is the signal. It tells you that while the product is traditional, its use, its utility, is very aggressive and very contemporary.
And speaking of utility, let's talk about the functional parts. Because a historical textile has to actually work for a modern person.
It has to meet modern demands, yeah. Comfort is a big one.
Absolutely. Traditional Kanjeevaram can be quite heavy, but this ad is very clever. It lists the sari as lightweight and vibrant. Why are those 2 words so important right now?
Well, because the modern buyer values comfort, ease of movement, and they value high visual appeal for photos. The lightweight claim is especially crucial. Historically, heavy silk meant quality. It meant complex hand weaving. By saying it's lightweight, the brand is kind of quietly addressing the modern need.
You mean the fact that you might have to wear this thing for hours at an event?
Exactly. It needs to not be cumbersome. It suggests it might be made with a lighter blend or processed differently, all for comfort.
Okay, so if the functional need is comfort, then the aesthetic need is all about visibility. And we get those 3 little words that just define the whole thing.
I know which ones you mean.
Totally Instagram-worthy.
That's it. That phrase is the entire business model summarized. It tells us that the #1 function of this garment today is visualization. It's content generation.
So the sari has to look good for the camera before it even looks good in person.
The visual impact is the new measure of success. That's the key.
Okay, this is where it gets a little more complex, I think. If it has to perform visually and functionally, we have to look really closely at the fabric claims. What are they actually telling us?
Let's do it. Let's scrutinize the material. So, the product is named a Kanjeevaram Silk Cotton Saree.
Silk cotton, so a blend.
Right. It implies a blend, which would give you the luxury feel of silk with the breathability of cotton, and maybe a more accessible price point.
But, and this is the important part, if you look at the highlighted description, the little bullet points next to the magic wand emoji,
yes,
the listed fabric is only Kanjeevaram silk.
And that's fascinating, isn't it? It's a very precise strategy. They acknowledge the blend in the official title, silk cotton, for accuracy. But in the punchy, aspirational summary, they just focus on the high-value term.
The one with all the cultural weight.
Exactly. Kanjeevaram Silk. They're selling the essence of the tradition, even if the material itself has been updated for practical modern use.
Okay, but hang on. Isn't that a little ethically gray, calling it Kanjeevaram Silk in the highlights when it's actually a blend?
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't the buyer need to know that up front?
Well, that is the critical tension, right? It's strategic ambiguity. The advertiser is banking on the prestige of the name Kanjivaram Silk to trigger that perception of luxury. While at the same time, they're using the cotton blend to achieve those modern features we just talked about, like being lightweight and managing the cost. It's prioritizing the brand story over, let's say, comprehensive material disclosure in the ad copy.
So the whole thing is built on the idea of traditional elegance.
Yeah.
And they push that idea in other ways too, right? They specifically mention classic drapes.
Yes, that framing ensures the purchase feels like you're not just buying clothes, you're participating in culture. You're connecting to history.
And that connection needs to be broad. It has to fit into a modern life.
It can't just be for one specific type of event.
Exactly. Which brings up the question, how do they make this elegance apply across different lifestyles?
Yeah.
They can't just limit it to ceremonial use.
No, and they don't. They broaden the application in a big way. The marketing promise is that this sari adds effortless charm to every occasion.
Effortless. And those are key words.
They are. It's being sold as a versatile piece for your wardrobe, not something that just sits in a box waiting for a wedding.
Which leads us perfectly to the audience. Who are they actually targeting with all these promises? They lay out 3 very distinct personas.
They show a really sharp understanding of the market. They know people buying this kind of item are at different life stages.
Okay, so persona 1. This is the young woman curating her festive wardrobe.
Right. This is all about being proactive, fashion-forward. It's about planning, trends.
Then you have persona 2, which is the highest stakes buyer, the bride-to-be choosing traditional elegance.
This buyer needs the most reassurance. They need to feel the quality, the authenticity of the heritage. They're probably less sensitive to the price, too.
And then the third one, which I love because it expands the use case completely, the working professional who loves classic drapes.
This is the one that makes it an everyday item. It validates the sari for the office. Suddenly, it's not just an heirloom, it's a part of your regular professional elegance.
So, okay, they've covered all their bases with the audience. But understanding the product is only half of it. The real digital insight here is in the logistics of the sale, how you actually buy it.
Yes. The flow of information and money, it's designed for immediacy. First thing you see, free shipping India.
Standard expectation for e-commerce.
Right. But the defining feature, the thing that makes this so modern, is the call to action for the purchase itself. They totally bypass a standard website checkout.
Why do that?
They replace the shopping cart with something much more personal. To buy, you have to use DM WhatsApp. They even give the specific number, 90255-50377. It's all chat-based.
For a product that could be worth thousands, why would a seller choose a direct message over a secure, professional e-commerce site?
It's all about building trust and offering a bespoke service. Think about it. High-value purchases, especially traditional ones, they often involve questions.
Like about sizing or colors?
Or customization. Or just needing emotional reassurance that it's the real deal. A direct conversation on WhatsApp allows the brand to give that high-touch service. They can send extra photos, maybe a video, maybe even negotiate a little.
Ah, so it's not really about convenience for the seller. It's about shifting the value to the process. The personalized service is part of what you're paying for.
Exactly. It also takes you out of the comparison shopping loop. Once you're in a one-on-one conversation, you're locked in. It adds a human element that a click-to-buy button just can't offer.
And they finish strong. It's not just about this one sale. They're demanding an ongoing relationship.
Swipe to explore the collection, and then the big one, follow us for more surprises.
They don't want a transaction. They want a follower. They want to live in your social feed.
It's about building a community, an ongoing digital relationship.
So let's synthesize this. What does it all mean? The single ad is basically a perfect little case study.
It is.
It shows you how to position a high-tradition item online. You emphasize the modern functionality. It's lightweight. It's vibrant. You lean into the digital appeal. It's Instagram-worthy. But the crucial part is making the purchase path immediate, personal, and high-touch through channels like WhatsApp.
It proves that in modern luxury, the path to purchase is just as carefully curated as the product itself.
And that leads us to our final provocative thought for you to take away from this. We've just analyzed how this brand digitizes tradition, promising a story, promising elegance. But the final action they ask you to take isn't to secure credit card checkout on some fancy website.
No, it's sending a direct message to a phone number, 90255-50377.
So the question for you to consider is this.
In this age of immediate chat-based commerce, does moving a high-value traditional purchase onto a platform like WhatsApp genuinely increase convenience for you, the customer? Or does it fundamentally shift the perception of luxury, away from the quality and heritage of the item itself and toward the immediacy and personalization of that direct transactional conversation? What do you value more when you hit send?